This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Monday night, it's RaceSpotTV. Welcome back to the channel here, and it is, of course, time for Monday Night Skippys. We're live here at Phillip Island in Australia. Richard Whiteford, Linus Brostrom joining you here. Will Vincent, of course, on the production feed for you as this thing getting ready to kick off. Round number 6, Linus, and we're halfway through a season that's shown a huge amount of turmoil so far. Before we start the commentary, I do want to say, guys, look, there are a lot of people out there looking into things to support Australia and their troubles right now with the wildfires. Go check them out. Go support a great cause. Think about the cute little koalas. It's horrendous. Do what you can, guys. To the racing, Linus, things have been insane so far. This track always provides great racing.
It really does, and it's been a great season so far, and that's definitely going to continue here tonight. Our main two contenders, Lee Hughes and Simon Edwards, is struggling in qualifying as well, so it's going to have to follow them on as they work their way back up towards the front. Edwards, though, currently sitting in 5th, so not that far back, but he's usually at the very front, so still an underachievement from him, so it's going to be a lot of things to look out for today.
Certainly is, and of course we are looking forward to seeing how this one plays forwards, because Robertson last week with the humongous upset win, his first win in the series, in fact his first podium in the series was a win, as qualifying is underway here. Chris J. Robertson at the 22 car, right now he's qualified in 2nd. Was this the booster he needed, Linus, to really push him forwards? I know you weren't there last week, but you should have heard it, that it was an uproar finish. One of the best I have seen in the seasons past. At least like past 5 or 6 seasons. Huge win.
Yeah, it really seems to have helped him as he's now currently in 2nd place, not far off pole position. And as you can see, Lee Hughes, just after I said he's struggling, he put it on 3rd. So he's going to be up there from the beginning. But it's going to be fun now to see if Chris Drake can keep that momentum going, or if he's going to fall back towards the end of the top 10 where we're used to seeing him. It's good to see new drivers at the front, though, and he's currently 4th in the championship. So if he keeps on going, he might be in the championship hunt at the end of the year.
So it could be. Look at the weather right now, 77 Fahrenheit in the air with clear skies, 97 on the track. So cooler than we had last time at Road Atlanta, which is strange for Australia being cooler than Atlanta in this case, but a crazy one they've had. This is, of course, the middle of summer in Australia, although right now, I believe, date-wise, we are running on November, apparently. There we go. It is nearly 10 a.m. November the 11th, or 15th, I should say, in Australia, apparently, according to the timing here, as we are in Victoria, Australia, for this round, and we are coming now to the end of our qualifying. Flag has already been out, cars are all cooling down. We'll go to your starting grid. Putting on pole tonight with a time of 1:46.427. Anthony Catt there, Chris Robertson, as we said, 2nd place. Claire Hughes in 3rd, SJ Dunning in 4th, with Stuart Dixon in 5th. We've got Simon Edwards in 6th place, quite far back for him. Matthew Crisp, Paul Grillo, Mark Mercer, 2 absolute veterans of the series there. Andrew Tetley in 10th place. Ben Daniels, Nicholas Vaughan Roberts, Clark Williams, Ewan Patterson, Matt Cox, Tony Stack, Dave Kirkman, James Child, and Peter Cowan is your 20th position. The rest of those results on your screens, as we're looking to have, I'd say, about 41 drivers here tonight, Linus. It's a pretty packed field for Phillip Island. Our 1 second bracket today, looking for a 147.4. Wow, that takes us roughly, I'd say, up to 17th, 18th place. That is reasonably stacked for this track.
Yeah, it is. The lap times are well over a minute and a half, almost 2 minutes, and to have 17 cars, sorry, within a second, that's what we usually have at a place like Brands Hatch Indy. So it's going to be a very interesting race here today, with a lot of people being very evenly matched, and you don't really have that much of drafting here, even though the turns are really quick. It's only the main straight pretty much where you will see draft. So still a lot of overtaking opportunities, so it's gonna be a race all the way to the wire, because you can pass in pretty much every corner here if you're just brave enough.
Absolutely, and we're looking forward to seeing some great on-track action here tonight. That's what I like to see from these guys. They really make things pretty exciting, but it's going to be a tough race all the same. This track can be unforgiving. We've got some big hairpin corners here that have caused conflict in the past. We look forward to seeing exactly how this one plays forwards in just a few seconds' time once we take to the grid. I'm going to be running 14 laps of this track tonight, a 2.76 mile track with 12 corners. One of the veteran tracks in the iRacing service, of course. And I've always said it's a lot like the... Well, no, I say it the opposite way around, actually, Linus. I say Anglesey is the Welsh Phillip Island. Or is Phillip Island the Australian Anglesey circuit? It's tough to say. Both very similar. Both up on a cliff face with very similar undulating, very twisty layouts. So, a lot of similarity, although one is a lot more famous, I would say, as I drivel on here on the pre-race show. We'll get to your grid now as the car's starting to get lined up. Final positions being taken here, of course. One of the things you don't tend to notice about this track is a lot of those little tiny places on the track. Yeah, that's because this is a motorbike circuit most of the time, other than V8 supercars and a few others coming here. Final cars taking their spots. Hughes is on the track. No Robertson yet or Cat. We'll be expecting to see those guys in just a few moments' time. Waiting now for the final drivers. 38 in total. We were close to our 41 prediction there. We have about... No, I was entirely incorrect. The numbers are all jumbled up. We have got 41, so I was actually bang on the nose there. Getting ready to see these guys take their positions here. Approximately 7 non-qualifiers in this one. Troy Goatley, last qualifier, in the 33rd position there. Anthony Katz now has his pole position. We should be going in about 10 to 20 seconds time here. Flag crew are ready to get this one started here. Just off the coast of Melbourne, Australia. Phillip Island hosts some of the most amazing racing you've seen, especially the V8 supercars. Some of the biggest action, and we look forward to seeing it here from Monday Night Skippys as the final cars are now on the grid. We're going to get this thing going for you. Engines rev up now. 14 laps of racing will start right now. Very slow start at what is initially an uphill climb there as you get under that bridge, Linus, as then they don't drop down towards this first sweeping corner, which can be flat out in this car. With the clear skies, that could also play to some looseness in these vehicles. There's the big 180 turn 2 here.
Seen a lot of people sliding in qualifying and practice today, so that's also going to be a thing to look out for. And here we go, he's going around already. I believe that's Simon Edwards going backwards off the track along with Stuart Dixon. No, actually Edwards is alive, but Dixon has gone off, and there's more people crashing now. Cars flying in the air. That would be Paul Carity. Brown went flipping. Parnell is in that as well. That is a big one.
Yeah, SJ Dunning was the one punted off there in turn 2. Someone missed their marker, and we saw cars flying as now the top. Already 4 have got a small breakaway here on lap 1 already. That's Cat, Robertson, Hughes, and I think Edwards is now taking that place. He's managed to acquire himself a spot in this one behind them. It's Matthew Crisp, Paul Grillo, Mark Mercer.
Oh, we got another crash. This car flipping out over the barrier on the outside. I'm trying to figure out who that was.
Well, it's involving Vaughan Roberts here. It was just in fact, it was the same situation as turn 2. We had the 30 of Ben Daniels running to the back of Vaughan Roberts. And as I'm looking at this one now, that was Clark Williams, who gets clipped by the 866 of Matt Cox, which sends him rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling so much he's Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, he just barely did not clear the barrier there. That could have, well, that was terrifying for him, but it could have been even worse. He almost fell outside the track there, so he was really lucky. As you can see here, he's going to stop with the rear wheels on the tire stack and then just going to get out of that as quickly as possible. But come the end of the first lap here, it's SJ Dunning leading from Nicholas Von Robert. No, sorry, I got my things messed up. It's Cat leading from Robertson, Lee Hughes, and Simon Edwards. The crashed out cars was on top for some reason.
An outside move here was attempted by Chris Robertson, although he hasn't got time to get it done here. Cat still holds a lead in this race, although the top 4 pretty tight there. Cat, Robertson, Hughes, and Edwards. Great to see Chris Robertson finding his ground in this series and racing with 3 of the biggest names we've got him under their Skippys at the moment. Behind them, Paul Grillo is running in 5th place right now, or was in 5th place. 2 cars have just eked past him. I believe those involve Mark Mercer. Yep, the 33 and the 80 of Tetley. Some good racing going on back there for the 5th, 6th and 7th place. Bleeders ahead of you though. Keep an eye on them. Ben Daniel's still in this one as well. Those 2 crashes leaders have really separated our front of our field. We've lost a number of drivers. It's taken out a number of good contenders. This one's going to be a little more wide open, I think, than we perhaps expected as they're climbing up now.
Those crashes happen right behind our top 4 and then right around our top 10s. It's really separated out here within the top 10. Form these little groups that we're used to seeing, but not maybe this early. But I still think we're in for a good one here. Battling for top 10 positions are Kirkman in 9th, Tony Stack, Matt Coxon. There's a bunch of cars behind them as well. Single filing it out. That's a group of about 10 cars. So still a lot of things that can happen around the end of the top 10.
Yeah, absolutely. Now coming up to complete lap number 2 here. Same running order for your top 4. We'll look a bit further back here, involving Grillo now, as Mercer goes to make a move here on Tetley. And it'll be towards the flag as we go 3 wide now, towards turn 1, as it's 2 wide up ahead of them, 2 deep. Looking further forwards here, and Robertson goes around the outside on Cat. Can he hold it alongside? He will. Big move there by Chris Robertson, buoyed on by his win last time. 2 wide now with Cat and Hughes for 2nd place. Hughes is actually going to come through here to 2nd place ahead of Cat, and Simon Edwards looking on from the back in the Clark Williams spot there. Not really sure where he's going to put his car, as Hughes going to try and nose up the inside here of Robertson. Robertson should have the line though for this tight hairpin right. Unless he's far enough ahead, Hughes will have to back down, although he keeps it parallel, which gives him the opportunity now for the follow-on to take the lead here with it being a left-hander. So positioning was great there by Clay Hughes, Niels.
It really was, and meanwhile Simon Edwards climbed into 3rd as well. As you can see now in the replay, he's going to come around the outside in this hairpin, just sweep around the outside of Cat and fall into 3rd place. While Lee Hughes is going to take the lead from the outside of Robertson. So the outside in that hairpin seemed to be key to gain positions right there. As we're coming up now towards the end of lap number 3. It's still Hughes leading from Robertson, Edwards and Cat. Still a couple more corners to go, so anything can happen. But Hughes seems to have opened a little bit of a gap here now that he's gone past Robertson. So if they start battling for 2nd, maybe Lee Hughes can set off and secure the win early.
We'll have to see how this one plays forward, of course. Start-finish line straight here really sucks the other drivers back in, so we could see the fight repeating itself all over again, but it is a good gap there. As we're going to see a move here by Edwards here on Robertson. Look at how fast they're closing up though on Hughes. He's getting away from nobody. Big slingshot here for Simon Edwards. Will go up the inside into 1. A convincing pass actually, all the way through there before the apex of turn 1. Robertson goes to the outside. Maybe he can go for the undercut, diving into the corner. It's not going to be enough open ground underneath Hughes, though, to make it work. I don't think so, at least. He hasn't yet. Confirmed retirements now for Clark Williams. Ewan Patterson as well, so far. And SJ Dunning also. Nice pass, though, by Simon Edwards to take the lead in this race. We thought it was a convincing gap there for Hughes, but not quite, as Tetley's also managed to get back past Mercer and Grillo, but Grillo fighting back here. Tetley holding on now to 5th place.
These guys are closing in on the top 4 as well, so this could very well turn into an 8-car battle if they just work together and the lead guys keep battling it out. They're within touching distance here, so they just need to work together now and they'll be right there. But Tetley holding on to that 5th position. Grillo and Mercer going at it for 6th. Mercer getting really close. He has to back out of it, and that's going to give 8th place of Ben Daniels a bit of an opportunity, but he's not going to be quite close enough, so you're going to stay in the same order for now.
Yeah, they really are, of course. Lap number 4 we're working to complete here right now. So there'll be 10 more laps once we complete this one. And we're looking for a big move here by Hughes on Edwards. He's already close. They're coming out that final corner. Big dive now, looking to the inside here. So we could swing it around the outside if he has to. Hold it inside for turn 2. But we have to expect Chris Robertson will also catch a bit. Look at the suck up there. It's massive on the track right now. We're even gaining here with Anthony Cat. But no position changes into 1. I'm quite surprised. Maybe the drivers are sitting back here, Linus. Maybe we're into that kind of phase of the race now where they aren't wanting to really duke for position. They're recognizing the threat behind them, that we're seeing this group catching up here, and they're just deciding to cooperate a bit.
Yeah,
Or
they've
as
got a
Darryl
lap
Waltrip would
car
say, co-opetition.
in front of him as well, going off the track, but he's going to stay well to the left and let these guys go. Key thing there as well, coming to the start-finish line, Lee Hughes wasn't able to pass Simon Edwards. He was actually 1/1000th of a second short, so leading coming out of that last corner is going to be key. You're not going to be able to use the draft and get through like you usually do, so it's going to be something to keep an eye on for the end of the race for these drivers. Meanwhile, they're going at it here for 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th and 13th, side by side, 2 by 2 through the hairpin, but it's going to be Maltby keeping that 9th position ahead of Cox, Child, Kirkman and Tony Stack for now, and just because we started watching them, they single filed out, so no real action here. Maybe coming into the next corner, it looks like Child is going to have to go defensive here on Kirkman, but he's not going to find an opening just yet. Going to be a long left-hander here, and Child is actually going to make a slight bit of a dive there, but he's going to back out, so going to stay in the same order just for now.
Yeah, they certainly are, of course. Things going to play forwards here now. Lap number 5, final corner. One of the trickier pit entrances actually is because it doglegs partway through it twice, and it's just an awkward long run through the infield there, making it a little bit harder for these drivers. You'd think they'd have it coming off the final corner, perhaps, to make it an easier drop in, but see a move here from Chris Robertson, and also possibly Edwards. Going to dive inside now. Clear Hughes will see a lap change, lead change even. Completely clear before turn 1. That draft's so powerful.
It really is, and there's nothing you can do when you're the lead car and you've got no draft whatsoever. So all you can do is just sit there and watch these cars come flying past you. As got John McGovern here racing a couple of people. That would be Goatley and Morris as well going at it side by side. Goatley on the inside here, moving up into 14th position ahead of Morris. As McGovern dropping back to 16th there. There's 2 spots gained for Goatley in the first couple of turns. Coming down towards the hairpin now. He's going to look to the outside here. Morris is going to take the sweeper around like we saw earlier, but he's going to be really late on the inside there. McGovern on the brake, so he's going to clear him actually and hold on to that 14th position. Actually ahead of Morris, and McGovern is going to just sit back and watch these guys actually drop back a bit, so he might lose these two.
Yeah, entirely possible that could happen here as they're coming through now. Edwards holding that lead quite strongly. We've not seen much of a strong move from Robertson yet, but behind them, Tetley still holding strong here in 5th now, ahead of Grillo and Mercer. Tetley up from 10th place where he qualified, Lena, so good moves from him. Biggest moving so far though, Simon Maltby. First time I've seen him crack the top 10 in a long time. There have been some retirees here, but 21st to 9th already, big movement.
Yeah, he's had a really good race, and he's actually looks like he's had a mistake on this lap because he's down to 13th now. He's dropped back from the pack where he was in at the beginning of the lap, so it looks like he might have been in the grass somewhere. But the guys he was battling, James Child and Dave Kirkman, they're going side by side again down the straightaway, and they also have Cox behind him. He's going to look to almost make it 3 wide here going into turn 1, but Cox is going to clear them, so he's going to have the first position in that group. That's going to be P number 10. Cox is going to have a look down the inside in the next corner. Is he? No, he's going to back out, so he's going to settle for P11. That's actually P10. This Child is dropping back to P11. So a lot of things going on all the way through this field right now.
Really is. Looking at Matt Cox right now. Going to make a move here on Kirkman ahead of him. Coming down towards turn number 4 and 5 here. Cox get through here safely. Kirkman takes the inside line. Behind him is Stack, and they've got Maltby as well. Child in that group as well. Not quite got the line for it yet. Kirkman still holding strong there. Up ahead of them, things fairly static. Edwards and Hughes. Hughes has gotten past him though in that run down this finish straight Linus, but we don't expect this to last incredibly long with how easy it's been found to pass there into turn 1. Drafts are powerful. Where do you set this one up? I mean, we're not seeing them pass before the start finish line, so is that perhaps the optimal location? Be leading into 1 and secure your win?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess on the last lap, if you're close enough, you can do it in that last bit of that little hairpin, or you can throw it up the inside coming into the last corner where you see the cars at now. But you have to be really, really close to make that happen. And this time again, you can see now Edwards right on the back of Hughes. He's going to have a look, but he's not going to get him quite in time for the start finish line, is he? Or did he? He actually got him that time by 19 one-thousandths of a second. So it is possible if you get close enough and get a massive run.
I think we can call that a test move there by Edwards, seeing what he has to do to get past before the line, rather than passing for the sake of it. So of course he's clean passing before 1, helping these guys to really open this gap now to 5th, 6th, 7th backwards, because when they're passing in the corner they're losing time, when they're passing on a straight it's gaining them time, as long as no one's slowing down to do so. So that's a great option.
Yeah, it is, and the gap is staying static at about 2 seconds from Cat in 4th down to 5th place. That's now Andy Tetley, as you see Cat now passing Robertson actually for 3rd place. So that's going to be the first move made by Cat, dropping Robertson back. So you're going to get a replay of that here. He's just going to set him up. He's going to have a massive run coming down the hill, and he's going to move to the inside into the hairpin, and he's just going to break his way past him pretty much. Robertson giving up that position to not lose too much time. So an easy move by Cat, and job well done. So now he's in the hunt for the race for the race win.
Certainly are. Climb up to Lukey Heights here now, and Edwards still holding the way here. Good close run though with Clear Hughes right behind him. This depression ahead of him looks quite shallow when you see it on the cameras, but I gotta say, Linus, in the race car, that's actually quite the drop down there in a short braking distance into that very tight right-hander there at the bottom before you flick out to this wide left into almost a double apex field through the final corner.
Yeah, it's a very, very steep drop, and then a sharp uphill climb as well. And now here comes Hughes. He didn't have quite as good of a run coming onto the straightaways as Edwards did, and he moves far away from it. But is it going to be enough? It is not going to be enough. So Edwards knows how to do it. Cat can't quite do it. Sorry, Hughes can't quite do it. And here comes Cat as well. He's going to back out of it though. Doesn't want to get involved. Doesn't want to make it 3 wide. He wants these guys to keep running away from the pair, or the quarter, whatever you call it in English, the 4 cars behind him. And they actually closed in slightly on that lap, but they're still 2 seconds back, so they're not going to be close enough, as we only have about 6 laps to go here. But Liu's back in the lead ahead of Simon Edwards. He's going to have a look now down towards the hairpin. Doesn't look like he wants to make the move though. Here comes Cat again, like he did last lap on Robertson. He's going to move to the inside of Simon Edwards. He's going to be really, really late on the brakes. Edwards is going to hold it on the outside though. They're going to be side by side. Edwards gets a bit of a slide. Cat gets the exit, but Edwards has the inside for the next corner. So who's going to get it? Hughes is pulling away with the lead. Edwards holds on to 2nd place. Cat falls into 3rd, and Robertson is right there in 4th, but he's not giving up. So still anyone's race here, and Cat is still all over the back of Edwards. He's going to try and get that 2nd place back once more, but can't really find an opening.
Certainly can't just yet, but we'll see that gap eaten away between Hughes and Edwards so quickly here, Linus. I mean, look at that, even in the braking zone, we see Edwards just gets in a little bit better and gets out to the corner a little quicker. You see that gap just start to shrink down, and he has a better speed out of the corners from what we're seeing so far. We know Edwards tends to run less than the conventional setup on the car. There's usually a couple of options, and he tends to go for the outlier options, and it tends to do him better in the later part of these races. You're seeing here how quickly he's catching up now. And we'll see what he's not going to have him this time by the line, but I don't think his intention is to do so. Through we'll go, no real contest. Yet again, will Cat have an opportunity though? No. Door closed just before turn 1.
Almost 3 wide behind him. They almost made contact there, and that's going to be Ben Daniels is going to have to back way out of that one to not get involved or put into the grass. But it's Andy Tetley who's moved up into 5th place in that group.
Absolutely has there. And
Actually,
it's a huge
it's
thing.
not.
Daniels actually ahead of the group
Daniels
now.
did move forward.
Yeah, we've got Daniels up there. We've got Tetley currently inside now as they're looking towards turn 5. Ahead of them, a bit of a cluster as well. Daniels secures the spot there, and through will come Mercer as well. But he can't lock the door yet because the 82 Tetley's just inside him still. We'll have the inside line though for the next corner. But they're still going to be side by side. This will give Daniels a big advantage there.
Grillo all over the back as well, trying to find an opening, but he can't do anything when they're side by side in front of him. And Tetley has got slight rear end damage there. Don't know if that's going to hurt him or not, but he's going to back out of that one, give 6th place to Mark Mercer, who's now going to pick the hunt back up on Ben Daniels, see what he can do. He's probably going to pass him again down the straightaway, so these guys are just going to keep changing positions. They've dropped back a couple of tenths again from the leading group, who are now just working together, passing only on the straight. So don't think these guys are going to be racing for anything higher than 5th unless something happens to the front 4.
Certainly is here as a bit of a move now by Mercer as they're too wide between himself and Daniels. Here comes Tetley as well. 3 wide across the line they'll come. Mark Mercer scored in the lead there. Of those 3, he should have the line into 1 as we see Daniels back down a little bit here. Doesn't want to be 3 wide through turn 1. Tetley holds the outside line and will keep that momentum up. Enough to have the other side for turn 2 now. Big move there by Tetley. Doing great there. Just comes across the nose of Ben Daniels as Paul Grillo waiting in the wings here back in 8th place.
He does, and meanwhile we've got a battle back here. Dixon moving back down to 17th as we've got 3 wide here again, just outside of your top, on the back end of the top 15 as we have a car going off. That's Troy Goatley, who got pushed really wide in that 3 wide situation, so he's not going to be in this battle anymore. So it's McGovern in 15th, Morris up to 14th, and then it's Dixon, Adcock and Ashley Blake Hood. Paul Smith is in there as well. It's, this massive group has been going at it all race long, but changing position back and forth all over the place. It's hard to keep track of who's where.
Yeah, it really is very difficult to keep track of these guys. They're all over the place with how things are moving so far, but looking towards the sharp end, we're expecting to see Simon Edwards make a move here in 1. He's doing it most laps as Robertson back up there, of course, over Cat. But we're seeing now Mark Mercer leading the group here in 5th place of this second pack, ahead of Andy Tetley, Ben Daniels and Paul Grillo. Not maybe going to see that 3 wide again, Linus. These guys have been definitely going for it here, but Tetley's absolutely going to try and make a move here on Mercer.
Edwards again up the inside now, and he's going to clearly use before the breaking point once again. This time though he wasn't leading at the line, so that's a win for Lee Hughes for now, but he just has to be in the lead as Edwards goes really wide on the curb there, but he's able to hold it on the track. Hughes is in 2nd. Got Robertson all over the back of him though, but he can't find an opening either, and Cat is still back there in 4th. But see if he can make that dive coming down into the hairpin again like we've seen a couple of times. Here comes Hughes on the inside of Edwards though, gonna have the outside into the hairpin. Robertson is going to cover the inside as well, so Cat moves to the outside of him. Going to be side by side for the first 4 positions here, and it's going to be Lee Hughes around the outside. He's going to pass Simon Edwards. Robertson is going to hold on to 3rd, and Cat is still back and forth. Robertson now trying to find an opening on Edwards. He can't quite get the exit speed though, can he? No, he will not be able to, so it's going to be Edwards in 2nd still, right on the back of Lee Hughes, but I don't think they're going to be able to pass here unless you throw a really big dive on somebody. Robertson is trying to find something, but he can't. Now Cat is on the outside of him, so that's going to cost him. Is Edwards going to be able to pull all the way around here? It's not as too long of a corner, so that's going to stretch them out slightly, and no pass going to be made into that hairpin this lap either. I thought there would be a lot of passing going into that corner, but so far I don't think we've seen a single pass there.
Fairly quiet so far from those guys. It's been what we might expect, but I think it's not really been a viable corner, Linus. Once you've been set up for the first one, it's kind of a 2-parter that's almost locked in at that point, so we tend to see conclusions of passes there, but not the actual start. Just looking at the lead now. Edwards following the sneaking Clay Hughes down the front straight, going to go to the outside here. Chris Robertson also going to try and draft up here and join this fight now on lap 13. 2 laps to go now, and we're only going to see 1 pass at the front pack rather than 2 we might have seen here, as Robertson got a great run there on Clear Hughes, but couldn't find a place to put the car. Running a little wide there in turn 2. Simon Edwards holding the lead here for now. Is this part of the master plan? If he's passed this time by Hughes, he'll pass him on the final lap entry. It's looking plausible for Simon Edwards here, Linus.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out. Here comes Hughes up the inside. He's gonna pass for the lead. Robertson is gonna follow him, but he's gonna have the outside for the next corner. So I think Edwards is gonna hold on to that second place. He's gonna have the exit speed from the hairpin, so he's gonna clear him right on the entry. Robertson's going to try a bit of a crossover here though, but I don't think he's going to be able to get the exit. And remember, Cat is there as well, but he can't find anywhere to go, so he's going to have to stay back and forth. But Hughes back in the lead again, so Simon Edwards is going to pass him for the lead coming down into turn 1, unless Robertson can do anything about it. Here he comes around the outside again, but he's not going to be quite close enough, so he's going to drop back in behind. Is Cat going to have a look now down into the hairpin? He's not. Edwards is going to go defensive, as is Robertson, so these guys are going to stay in these positions and look ahead of them. Leah Hughes has a lapped car in front of him. That might be exactly what he needs. I don't think it's quite close enough though. But if he has a bad last corner, that lap car, Leah Hughes might get some draft, and that could be his saviour.
Absolutely could be his saviour. A massive opportunity for him there, as we're going to see Robertson pull out here on Edwards. Going on to this final lap now. There is a lap car ahead of them, but we expect they'll be out of the way, as it's going to look like 3 wide possibly. Here we go, 4 wide maybe. No, not quite. Oh, they just backed out, but briefly 3 wide there, as Edwards will take the lead, and possibly second place here for Robertson, which could throw a massive wrench in the works of Clear Hughes' race as he clears him now. Hughes forced to back out there, in fact, get on the brakes mid-corner. That's going to hurt him now. Let's see what Hughes can pull now into turn 3 and 4. Not where he wants to be right now. As a look by Robertson on Simon Edwards. He's got blood in the water, and he smells a chance at victory yet again here. Edwards forced to defend against Hughes there outside. Oh, a spinning car takes out. Oh my gosh! That is a horror crash, as Chris Robertson looks like he might be unchallenged here. Chris Robertson dodged that wreck that wipes out Hughes and Edwards, and Grillo's going to pass Edwards, who gets more contact from Grillo. Edwards hit there by Paul Grillo. Oh my god, what have we just seen? Chris Robertson can't believe his luck. This is going to be a second week in a row that luck has shone on Chris Robertson. Last week was skill, this time was a gift from the gods, is all I can think, because that spinning car got the grass a little too lightly, and he just had the right place, right time to miss it. Could Paul Grillo be looking at a podium here? Mark Mercer certainly looks like he's going to be. He's right behind her. Actually, no. Anthony Cat is looking for second place. Paul Grillo, third place. Back on the podium, Paul. Out of nowhere, this race has completely changed. Now the final corner will come. Chris Robertson, second on the grid, and a walk home to victory after a last lap shock result is all I can say.
That was
different.
That was interesting.
I don't know what has happened.
Well, I'm kind of speechless here. Well, meanwhile, we got McGovern racing with Morris here for 14th and 15th. That's 15th and 16th actually. Morris is gonna look. Oh, almost gonna make contact, and then he's gonna clear him just before the line. That was a finish and a half. So Morris is going to get P15 from McGovern, who's going to finish 16th. That was very, very close finish.
Absolutely. I'm still a little bit blown away by what we just saw.
Yeah, I'm at loss for words.
A complete shock finish there. Here on Monday Night Skippys. Yeah, that was the thing. Well, to our post-race, we're going to be waiting for this for a little bit of time. We're going to have a look at some replay stuff, actually. Because I really want to see what happened back there, Linus. That was quite the moment. Let's see what we have.
The car just went a bit too wide there. That was D. Brown, I believe. Just went into the grass and, well...
Yeah,
I don't know if he was trying to get out of the way or not, but he went really, really wide. And then he just clipped grass. Look, and then it just comes across and everybody runs into him.
It's not even the grass. No, I think he ran as wide as possible in the corner there because he saw the leaders fighting for the win on the final lap coming into the corner. And just tries to get out of the way. And it's not even the grass he catches. It's the edge of the dirt there. And the back end just goes round. And the heavens open there for Robertson.
Wow. It's just, Robertson is so close to getting involved. And Cat as well just manages to sneak by the back of Lee Hughes there. That was really lucky. Here we have an onboard with Robertson. He was actually sideways into the hairpin. He sees that lap car, slams on the brakes. And wow. That is so close to tearing his right front off the car. That is outstanding. Great work from Robertson. Here's another one on board with D Brown. He goes wide, he clips the gravel, spins out, and there is our championship leader right into the side of him.
Yeah, certainly a big difference there. Honestly, the moments like this happening in motor racing is something that will take place sometimes and it just blows you out of the water. But in this one, I think that was just one of those freak moments of someone trying to do the right thing and ending up in the wrong spot.
Well, for the championship standings, it was certainly a great event. Seeing as Robertson and Cat got... Well, Cat missed out on his first win of the season, but go on.
Okay, so post-race results here. Chris Robertson coming home with the win tonight in that shock finish. Anthony Cat in second place and Paul Grillo returns to the podium in third place. Behind them is Andy Tetley and Mark Mercer running at your top 5 with Clay Hughes, Simon Edwards, Ben Daniels, Dave Kirkman, Simon Maltby in top 10. Result for him, Tony Stack, James Child, Matt Cox, Stuart Dickinson, Chris Morris, John McGovern, Tim Adcock, Paul Smith up there in 18th place. Nice one, Paul, from 36th on the grid. Niall McGinty and Alan Patterson in 20th. Great work, Alan. The rest of those results up on your screen as we're going to have a chance to Dave Kirkman here. Dave, a very busy race. P9 for you today. Fantastic, from 18th on the grid.
Yeah, finally breaking into the top 10. That was a really close race. I always seem to be around Tony Stack and Simon Maltby. But we're also racing Matt Cox and James as well. So it was a tight race and either one of us really could have got 9th, I think, at the end. But I was determined to play my cards right and I was the lucky one in the end to get it.
Absolutely. Well, a fantastic race. All the same, great result there for you today.
Yeah, it's nice to actually break into the top 10 for a change. I've been sort of knocking on the door for a while and it's nice to kind of get up there and start to mix it with the faster guys like Matt Cox, for instance, and Clark as well. So, yeah, it's good to kind of continually improve and see that I'm getting the results now.
Certainly is. Well, thank you very much for joining us today, Dave Kirkman, coming on today in 9th place. Well, next up we have a man who we interviewed last week we weren't expecting to talk to, Chris J. Robertson.
Hi, guys.
Habit of this?
I'm so shocked. Last one was kind of a hard-fought one, but this one I just got gifted. But I guess they all count. I went into the last corner, or the hairpin on the last lap, too wide of Simon, and I saw the lap car spin in front of me, and my heart sunk to the bottom of my stomach, and I thought, yeah, we go, I'm out of this race. But luckily he ended up hitting Simon, which you never want to win that way, but sometimes that's how racing goes.
I'm going to say that shock finish aside, fantastic run from you. Top 4 all race along with those guys, passing them, leading at one point. A great performance overall, so you were in the right place at the right time for it to happen.
Indeed. I think this track was all about placement and putting yourself in the right place. I got myself into second on the last lap, hoping to just draft Simon to the line. That was kind of the goal for that one. I got lucky in other ways this time. So, but yeah, it was a good race. Happy to keep on building momentum. The first one was a shock one. Didn't expect the second to come so quickly.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us today, Chris Robertson.
Thank you, guys.
With the win. Oh, now we're joined by Mr. Edwards himself, Simon Edwards. Interesting end to that one.
It was, wasn't it? You can but laugh.
Unfortunate moment of it was him or you, I think is the best way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, it was going to be a really interesting finish, I thought. I didn't really know which way that was going to go, but obviously you saw how it went.
It looked like there was potential to pass before the finish line coming out the final corner. It looked as though you were testing how fast or how quickly you could pass someone before the line, during that race. Is that the case?
Yes.
Yeah, and were you confident you could make it happen when push came to shove, or was it a where you are when you are situation?
Yeah, it's a bit of where you are when, like you say, at the time. But if you have a little bit of space behind you, i.e. you're not under immediate pressure, then you can make that gap perfect. And I did that on Friday in the broadcast, and I managed to get them third in the end. So I knew it could be done.
There you go, that's always the way to do it, but unfortunately not the way it ended today. Still a top 10 result there for you and good season points.
Yeah, I mean, it was still an enjoyable race, and it made me laugh when we flew right across the track and nowhere for us to go. So I didn't take it too badly. I had a little chuckle to myself.
You've got to laugh, and if you don't laugh, you'll cry. So that is motor racing. Sometimes it's them, sometimes it's you.
Yeah, and I've been lucky in most of my other races, so I mean, I can't complain.
Well, there you go. Thanks for joining us today, Simon Edwards, and everybody else has been here for an interview, Dave Kirkman and Chris Robertson there. So thank you. We'll catch you same time next week for round number 7. We'll see you then.
Okay.